My name is Trey Giles. I play cornerback. You're watching Live Sports Network.
Hey, MSU on three. 1, 2, 3.
MSU. Hi, everybody. Stuart Jolly along with line head football coach Tim Clifton. And Tim, if our fans took the time last week to drive down Interstate 26 through all the little construction zones that cause religious experiences for drivers, and they got to Newberry, man, oh man, what a ball game they saw.
They saw a great game. And whether they came from Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, or wherever, even from Florida, and they saw a great game, and it was a game of really one quarter for us that we just were flat early, and then I thought we played 3 really good quarters.
It was one of those that if you happen to be listening to the game and watching the live stream early on, and then you went away and you came back, you would have been like, listen, is this the same, are these the same two teams? Because huge contrast in there. Once the lines caught on fire, there was no stopping your team.
Yeah, I thought we came out flat, we ended up giving up 19 points, and really it was a kickoff. We kicked it in the wrong spot. They ran it back. Then they scored in a couple of plays. Then we threw a pick, and they scored again. So it was really a special teams deal and an interception that set up their scores. And then we had a fumble, and they kicked a field goal off of it. And I thought our kids really did a great job of responding, because you go down 19-0 early, it becomes now how do you get it slowed down? But we were able to run the football, and I thought Chris Roberts ran real hard early in the game, and as he ran hard, it got our players fired up, and he started breaking tackles, and then Jet came in and did a good job, and then Chris came back and did a good job, and then Jet came back, and then Chris got dinged up, and then Jet finished it up, and I thought our offensive line did a good job of blocking and giving us a chance to hold the ball, and we held it for 39 minutes, over 39 minutes, and I think that was a big key, and then we had to rise to the occasion late in the game on defense, and I thought our defense pitched the shutout in the second half.
They really did, and he was even some of the Columbia State newspaper, the write-up they were talking about that your defense just made an entire different game out of.
They did once we got 19-14, and then we went ahead. Our defense they just took a stand and started playing it unbelievably hard and executing. And we could have we had some opportunity maybe to kick a field goal or two, but we lost our kicker on Saturday morning. Put his gear on the bus, ran across the street, was going to go. He was early. He said, I'm going to get some coffee or something. And next thing you know, he steps and twists his ankle real bad. I come from here down to into the training room, and there's a kicker in a boot and crutches. And
normal stuff doesn't happen to us. Normal stuff doesn't happen to the Lions team.
It just happened that morning. And it was a good question I asked him, you go, how do you lose your kicker on a Saturday morning.
Going for coffee.
And he's your punter and kicker, and you lose him before you get on the bus. So you now you're saying, man, and then when it's 19-0, you're going, what a day, you know. And
Sure would be good to have a kicker.
yeah, you know, and Sanchez came in and made, you know, a couple extra points, and then we missed one, and then we had to punt. We only punted once. When we punted, they went airborne and hit our 3 back guys, our teddy bears, and that's a penalty. You can't go airborne anymore. And then we fumbled a snap in the 4th quarter after we get the ball back with a minute and something left, and now we got to sack them twice. Really sacked them deep. The last sack. I mean, it was a game that I hadn't seen a whole lot over the years. I think I've seen it all, but each game brings you something, and that game brought us a lot of things. You know,
Now you've been coaching. How long you been coaching? And all the
4 years.
Okay, and that is probably without asking, the first time you've lost a player the morning of getting on the bus.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Like I said, normal stuff doesn't happen to life.
I've had one leave his helmet here, you know, 1 year, and we get to Lenore Ryan, the game, and we had a running back, Tony Grant, back then. He left his helmet here, and to get the helmet, Ms. Clifton had to get him to break in the locker room in the gym just to get the helmet. Nobody had a key, and we've had that. We've had him get hurt in warm up. Jake Sell tore his knee in warm up. Kyle hurt his knee in warm up. I've never had a guy get hurt before he got on the bus.
Well, and the good thing is, we'll never ever mention to him again.
No,
not us.
And I got it from the wise guys today when I was talking to the wise guys. I asked.
And great guy. I mean, just a great guy. But and then he'd be the first to razz us if we haven't done.
I said to him, you want, with your coffee, you want cream, sugar, and an ankle. Which one you want? You just tell me which one you want. So it was something that was really different. Yeah. But our kids, really, our players just did a great job by our coaching staff. Because when you get down 19, you can panic, you can do some things. And our coaching staff just kept going with the game plan, and we just kept going with what we worked on all week, and our players just kept coming back, and they never stopped believing, and it was you know, you got to win some games like that, and to have a chance to be good, and I thought we just responded, and you know, to watch the guys at the end of the game, how excited they were, and how they were pulling together the offense with the defense, and the defense for the offense. And when anybody sitting down, everybody was up, and it was just an exciting time. A couple of years ago there, we had the same kind of game over there where we had to win it at the end and hold on like we did in a rainstorm. And you know, it's just that's a hard place to go in and play. It's a hard place to win.
And I was looking back over the history of the two teams, and rarely you got to go back to I think mid-90s or so, where we had a big block of time that we notched a lot of wins against them. But one other than that, it's been like 2 in a row, and then it flips 2 in a row, and it's been always competitive.
Yeah, since about 2008, 7 or 8 in there, it has been a tight game, or like you said, it's flipped here and there. And there have been some really good games. And last year here was a great game, and we won it on the last play, you know. And so it's they've been some really good games. And Newberry they're really good. They have a lot of talent.
So the Mountain Lions win in regulation on the road at Newberry. As we said, always a tough place to play. Of course, anywhere in the South Atlantic Conference is a tough place to play. But in the heat of the Upstate, the Mountain Lions come away with a 20-19 victory. We come back, we'll talk about what lies ahead, full conference action this week. We get to travel again on the road to Pembroke right after this.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Welcome back to Lion Coaches Show. Stuart Jolly and Tim Clifton. Quick recap of South Atlantic Conference standings. Lenore-Ryan 3-0, Wingate 3-0, Mars Hill 2-1, Carson Newman and Limestone are 1-1, Newberry 1-2, Tusculum 1-2, Catawba 0-2, UVA Wise 0-3. And I was looking at that Tusculum 1-2. Boy, they gave Wingate all they wanted last weekend.
Yeah, and they turned it over like 5 times against the week before when they played Newberry. They turned it over like 5 times. But Tusculum is a really good football team, and we just happened to catch them on film as we exchange. You get to watch them, and they've got a lot of talent too. There's just not a give me in this league.
No, never has seen.
There's just not one.
Looking ahead to Saturday, it's going to be, and we're making this change on the website. So if you looked early on and said, well, I'm planning for a 1 o'clock game at Pembroke, no. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff. And that brings its own set of dynamics that causes. But play at Pembroke, final run, I think, in the series with them.
Yeah,
they're going to go to a different league.
Yeah, and we don't get to return game. You know, this will be the second year that we've gone over there, and I'd say, that's not an easy ride. That's a tough ride.
It is a long haul.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know how we got into this deal with them because it's so far.
A 4-hour, 15-minute ride by bus, and that's just hammering down the whole way.
And last year it took us over 5 hours to get there because of Charlotte. It took us 5 hours to get there, and then we're playing at 4:10.
4:10. Okay.
I found that out today instead of 4. Last year we went over there, and
so this is going to end up being a 3-day trip for the Lions. We'll go down, spend the night, Friday night, play on Saturday, and we'll come back sometime on Sunday.
And we'll get in here at 2 in the morning, or something like that. But it's last year we went over there and played, and it was I can't remember the time. Maybe it was a 2 o'clock game or something, or a 1 o'clock game. Get there and find out that it's a 1:10 game or whatever. And just like today, I got something that it's a 4:10 game.
And it's homecoming now.
Yeah, and we had to get off the field, and you're going, well, wait a second. So we ended up playing at, instead of 110, 105 or something like that. We split the difference. So this year we did get an email. Rick Baker got it to me, because people go, when you set everything and everything's a routine, 10 minutes is a difference. Now you're in the locker room, 10 minutes longer than you plan to be in the locker room.
And you're already playing 3 hours later than what we're used to. I mean,
it was 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock on the SAC. It's 1 o'clock on ours, and that's 4 o'clock.
4:10.
Yeah, 4:10. And then it's an extension of halftime because it's homecoming, which is normal everywhere. So
we get back to Sunday, we're doing what?
Yeah, it's a 15-minute extension is what it is, plus a 3-hour extension. So, so you got to make plans, and I think we've done a good job of putting our routine together and what we have to do, and that's the difference between football and other sports. You stay in a routine, and you want to stay in a routine. You stay in a routine, which is the off day, and what times you practice, and what times you meet, and what times they come in and study, and it's all a routine. And where other sports, you might play 3 in 1 week, and then you got to find out which day you want to take off. And our off days are the same. It remains the same. And what you try to do is keep in a good routine, and Just like last week we played at 4, and then the week before we played at 1:30, which you know at home, and then we played at 1 o'clock, and then we played at 12 o'clock at Wise. So times are flipping where they used to didn't flip, but you know, you just say you figure out the schedule, get there at the same time you want to get there. If it's a 1 o'clock game, and do it. But the problem is you travel coming home, you get in at after midnight, you get in at 1 or 2 in the morning. Now you got to figure out how it's going to affect you the next week, and figure out how to fix the next week, and that's what you have to do.
Always an interesting game when these two squads get together. Last week, Pembroke had their hands full over at Carson Newman, a 55-18 loss to the Eagles. Some highlights from their play, and then we'll be able to kind of talk about how that's going to work for us this week, matching up against Marcus McDonald. Hauled in 4 catches, 51 yards, third quarter touchdown, and Quay 3 caught 6 passes, 43 yards. They seem to be some of their regular targets. That looks like it, based on what I saw last week against Newberry, our defense should be able to match up quite well against them.
Well, I think they can throw the ball better than we can. And their quarterback is more of a pure passer. I mean, than Newberry. You know, because last week Newberry, you know, they came out early throwing it, but they really wanted to find a way not to have to throw it down the field. But Pembroke, they'll throw it down the field, and they're really good at throwing the football. I say they're good at it. They're improving it over the year. And the Carson Newman game was really, really tight. And it's the third quarter, and it's like 21-9 or something. I mean, they're in the game. And then they ran 8 plays, and they threw 5 picks in 8 plays.
That'll ruin your day.
One was for a pick 6, and then the other one ran down to about 5.
Things you don't do at Mossy Creek.
No, you don't encourage them. You don't encourage
the Eagles.
You don't encourage them, but they threw. As I went through it, it was like they ran 6. They threw a pick, ran 6 plays. Then they threw a pick. Then they threw another pick. Then they ran 2 plays. Then they threw a pick. Then they threw another pick. The next thing you know, it's 5 picks and 8 plays, and you can't. It's hard to beat anybody throwing 5 picks, but to throw 5 in that span of time, and Newman scored 35 points in the third quarter. You know, so.
Yeah, it was, just looking at the stats, it was going in the third quarter, Carson Newman, it was 13-3 at the half.
Yeah.
And then it comes, as you said, bing, bing, bing.
35 points.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Very quickly.
And, you know, thing you're going into, you hope you get a few of those, you know, is what you hope. But they have been able to throw the ball fairly well, extremely well, really, until last week. Now, Newman had a lot to do with it. You know, Carson Newman was really good on defense, and we all know they're real good on offense.
Defensively for UNC Pembroke, Jordan Howard, Dominique Davis, Luke Brooks, they've been kind of their best tackles day in and day out. They've looked pretty good looking at their stats. It seems that they're solid against the run, but they look like they don't have a lot of depth at that position defensively, you know, going up against that.
Well, what they, you know, their front, those guys, their front played against us last year, and they got a lot of guys back there. They've got 1 freshman on the field on defense, and that's their free safety, and the rest of them are veteran guys, or they're red-shirted sophomores and red-shirted juniors and seniors, and same way on offense. guys, they got a veteran group on offense, and I think they can move the football. They can, against Catawba they ran the ball, they're not one-dimensional on offense. They can do some things. They can, they're really good at tailback, and they can make you try to stop the run and throw the ball over the top, or they can do like we do sometimes, stop the pass. As you stop the pass, we're gonna run it. I mean, it's just, it becomes a numbers game, and they're real good at it, at their numbers game,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, Mountain Lions on the road at Pembroke, a 4:10 kickoff.
Yeah.
Watch our
4:10.
website for more details in case that changes. But Coach, we'll be back next week. We'll talk about how the Lions matching up against the Braves of UNC Pembroke, and we'll get to talk about all the festivities surrounding homecoming. It's that time again.
Yeah, it is.
Hard to believe, and we invite you to go ahead and make that on your schedule. That'll be a 1:30 ball game. We've not had one. So that'll be a 1:30 for our homecoming here at Newberry Stadium. But as always, thank you for being part of our Lion family. We're glad to be on this side of the camera. Hope you've enjoyed it from that side of the camera. We'll see you next week. Best of luck to the Mountain Lions. So long for now.
It's Javon Harbison, receiver, and you watching Lion Sports Network.
Hey, MHU on 3. 1, 2, 3.
MHU.